Hey guys, and welcome back to Borderlands 3. The hype train continues as we dive into Moze's skill tree. Now, actually, Moze is actually one of the only skill, or the characters that we actually didn't go into vicious detail, talking about every individual skill and being like, excuse me, that's insane. Despite her being very insane. In fact, she's one of those weird skill things that I feel like you're really weird when you start spreading yourself out. Yeah, but I also feel like there's one skill tree, specifically the machine gunner one, that seems pretty lacking, but then again, maybe just the base machine gun is that good. So first of all, just to give you like a taste of what the fuck Moze is all about, sorry, Moze, Helmet Girl, otherwise known as, where is it right here? I think it's this one, yeah. The Shield Retribution, which is kind of like a subgenre between a crazy amount of survivability, but also weirdly like Krieg kind of vibes, because you're in this mech slash action skill and she has a ton of abilities that just revolve around pummeling people to pieces. So yeah, also don't really pay much mind to like the skill points on screen. I was just thinking and trying to get certain skills and see what that would be. Anyways, yeah, so to give you guys an understanding of how crazy Mo is, Armored Infantry. While Mo's shields are active, she gains damage resistance and increased gun damage. Now, it is only, yes, a little bit of gun damage and a little bit of damage resistance, but that's pretty crazy so whatever capacity your shield is, you're going to want a giant capacity for shield with Moze. That base shield is more resistant than the numbers that you see. Anyways, that's great. She also has this ability. A portion of Moze's health is reserved and cannot be restored, but her shield is increased by the same amount. So I don't know exactly the way. I think this is just going to say, so whatever 60% of whatever Moze's health is going to be converted to shield. But I don't think that's going to mean you're going to have a missing chunk of health. I think it's just going to half your health, or more than half in this instance, because you get 3 out of 3. It takes away 60 health reserves and adds them to your max shield. Yeah, that's insane. So you're getting a good bump to health if you have a decent amount of, or a big bump to shield if you have a good amount of health. I don't know if maybe there'll be a shield out there that gives you a crazy amount of health, which therefore will convert that health to shield. I don't know. I have no idea, but what I do know is that there's this ability too, which is also great. We get 30% more shield and 47 against shock resistance, which shock resistance tears apart shields. So shock resistance will be great for us now. I think we'll be more resistant than we are weak to it at this point, which is great. But also, and I probably should reset the skills just to show you guys how crazy her shield can get. Yeah, this skill right here, entering Iron Bear, causes Mo's shield and her allies' shields to begin recharging immediately, and that's 25 recharge. So not only do you have 0 delay, but bang, is it recharging fast. That is so good. And then we have this one, which is also great. Whenever Mo scores a critical hit, she has a chance of dealing incendiary damage. Just kind of great, especially considering, I don't know, she's the mecha class, so I find it hard to believe that you're not going to be getting headshots consistently, because I think there's a lot of handling other abilities that are in here as well. But I mainly just want to build to stay in Iron Bear forever, which is mainly in the weirdly explosive tree. It's a lot of like staying in Iron Bear for a huge portion of time kind of skill tree, which is awesome. But we also have skills like this, which are equally as nutty. But it's when Moze gets critical hit, her shield instantly starts recharging. So that's insane. So no delay. There's no delay. It's just boom, recharging. And then we have ones like this, which reduce your delay, but also increase your regeneration of your shields. That's kind of a good, yeah. With this, you only, at least to me, you only really need recharge rate, because the delay is not going to exist as long as you hit a crit, and there's no like reducing this. It's always going to be happening. So that's crazy. Anyways, there's also this. And this is the one that it makes her just ridiculous. This is like the best, or at least what it seems like, the best tank ability in the game, but it's a kill skill, and it says, after killing an enemy, Moze gains a stack of that. For each stack of that, Moze's max shield and gun damage are increased. Each stack lasts 30 seconds. And it also says, there is no limit to the stack. So now the thing this is strong, but the thing that they also say is they say each stack lasts 30 seconds. So I don't think that puts it on the same way that you'd stack other things. So normally you'd stack something, and if you bring it all the way up to 30, when it finally ticked down, it would tick down by, what is it? If you have 19 points, it would tick down to 18, and then it would start going gradually. But I don't know if this is how this one works. I think every individual stack is on a 30-second cooldown and is all ticking down that fast, because it does it does get crazy. Like, I don't want to put the points in, but it does get crazy in terms of like building to one kill gives you like a crazy amount of your shield and gun damage, which is funny because this is in the shield tree, and you also get a decent hefty amount of gun damage. But it's also a kill skill, so you're going to need to be killing things anyway to do that. And then, of course, the last skill that she has, because of course it doesn't stop. Whenever Moze's shield is fully depleted, it restores a portion of her shield and her gun damage for a short time. So it's kind of like a last resort. Hey, and the only catch to this is that you need to regenerate your shield fully, which would be easy if you could get rid of delay entirely with a critical hit. Sorry, and if you just had an absurd amount of regen to begin with. So yeah, she's crazy. Anyways, the part that I was talking about her kind of being like Krieg, she has this alternative ability, which I have no idea why it's here in the explosive skill tree, but it's a bare fist. And it's basically these two fists, I believe, that come out and just start stabbing things in front of it. And it says deals massive damage to a single target for close range. And there's no line that says that this is like one use only. And specifically, you can have this thing do elemental damage, a random bonus to elemental damage. So you could hit with an explosive hit, with whatever. But it's 35% of the damage that you deal on a base level with this high impact, I believe, melee attack. Gets converted to elemental damage, which is great. That's just additive damage. That's insane. But what's even crazier is this, to me, feels a lot like Krieg, or at least what they're trying to get at, maybe. Shock Hammer. Bare Fist is now capable of sustained rapid fire hits. Additionally, Bare Fist reduces fuel drain. Awesome, so we can basically stay in our mech for longer, because that's what fuel drain is. It's the cooldown, and certain weapons destroy your cooldown. In this instance, it gives you a lot. Additionally, Bare Fist is reduced for fuel drain and deals bonus shock damage with each hit. So the more hits you get, the more damage it's going to deal. That is great. It doesn't say that it has a limit too, so it does 19. Yes, that's crazy. So if you keep hitting something, it's going to keep stacking that damage higher and higher and higher, and you have less fuel drain, so you basically can become a berserker, which sounds amazing. Anyways, I'm not sure if I'm going to use the railgun, because it just doesn't kind of seem like my jam. Honestly, the build that I think I would use is not this one, but I'll just explain this, because why do you have things to spec into this, Grid? Well, I was trying to see if there's a way to get because she is also the only companion, or sorry, new class character that can, which seems like built kind of to be a Torg / whatever fangirl, so to speak. So she's very much an explosive like character. The only thing that they say that's not explosive, they say splash damage. So one of the things I seen in the skill tree when I was reading up things is this whole skill tree is about just buffing up her splash damage, as well as things that are amazing like this, where your auto, when you're done your action skill, it will stay up and exist and shoot the shit out of everything. I think your cooldown would come back at that point, like you could start fighting for it again. I really hope this is bad if you can't start getting your action skill back unless it dies. In that case, I probably wouldn't have this one. But even still, it's kind of great. But this whole skill tree is based around explosives and you increasing your splash damage and all that stuff. And then I seen in the minigun skill tree that there is this ability, which is your minigun now fires explosive rounds, dealing splash damage, but also your fire rate is incredibly lowered. So I was trying to find out a way that would work around this and benefit this, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it. Honestly, the one that I think is the most ungodly is just building for you to be a tank, just generally. So I would get all of these, just to make sure that I don't die. I don't think I would go down this skill tree first. I think I would definitely go down the Berserker Melee Bare Fist one, the explosive skill tree first if I was playing Mo. Just because she has things like this, which is like the chance to regenerate ammo, that's great, but the chance to regenerate a grenade. Yes, please, as well as you healing when you hit a certain amount of people, which I think is not as good as it sounds. And then just having more grenades, and then having abilities that stack, like Iron Bear being up more. Anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I would go down this skill tree, get this. Recharge delay is not exactly necessary to me. The recharge rate, maybe. I don't think it's going to be that much worth putting in. Oh yeah, this one also plays with this one really well, because since we're like lowering our health so much and we're going to have no health, we're going to be able to get health gated very quickly. But when we get health gated and our shield regenerates, and we're going to be really low health but maxed shield, which is great. There's this ability which says Moze gun damage is increased depending on how low her health is. The lower her health, the greater the increase. So that's great. So what will happen in the whole grand scheme of things if we get this? And oh god, I don't want that. What do we want? Don't want that either. Let's just get the regen then. Let's go over here, buy all of these. And we have to get that, and we have to get this. Okay, so what will happen is basically all of our health and everything else and resistances and etc. is in our shield, which is already amazing. But the fact that we get this, which is 50 extra health for when our health is low, what will happen is we are going to be getting health gated. So say our shield breaks and then someone punches through that and we get one shot or our health gets all the way down to 0. Well, immediately when that happens, well, I guess this depends if this works like this. So if someone hits you hard enough, I think what will happen is your shield will go away, your health you'll get health gated, you'll have no health, and then you'll get 40% of your shield back, as well as a titanic defense. Oh, also you'll get 30% more gun damage for 30 seconds, because you're getting 30 gun damage on top of this. Also, it's not that hard to have some sort of weapon that does splash damage to yourself, because she's not immune to splash damage. Shoot the ground till your health is almost low, let your shield regenerate, and boom bam, you're doing 50 extra damage. With a shield that is impossibly dense, strong, and resistant. In fact, I could not see a class mod not buffing up this damage resistance on your shield. Which again, that number means more than like at 13 resistance, sure, but that's across the entire shield. That's like all of the numbers being extra like buffed up, which is great. So yeah, this is probably where I would choose, and I would choose to have my bare fist on my first hand. And I would do the whole rapid fire thing because I want to be like Kree. Anyways, I would not do any other railgun. I hate the railgun. But I would do the grenade stuff. So I'd go over here, which is awesome. It says firing weapons drains less of Iron Bear, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and get all of that. It does say this skill has diminishing returns though, so I guess it still uses up. Eventually it will use up a lot. So there's that. Which is funny because it usually says that stuff in cooldowns, like for this. It says kill skill. Killing an enemy reduces Moze action skill cooldown. 1 second for every kill, apparently. If you want to, probably 5 seconds if you put more in here. But this is accompanied with this skill has diminishing returns. You know what's not? The Flak's critical hit skill doesn't have any of that. It doesn't say that it gets weaker when you get more critical hits, which maybe it should because it sounds pretty fucking strong, that one ability. This is also, I'm not sure. I think I'd probably get this one rather than this because I just, yeah, the fact that it says diminishing returns, I don't know when that resets. Does that reset after every encounter? Like, what are we doing? What's happening, you know? But also, I want this one. Moze deals splash damage and incendiary damage. That's great. I also want this one, the ability to regain stuff. That's great. I also want this one, which increases your resistance or like your fuel, which is your duration for Iron Bear, as well as its armor. So I want all that as well. Then we have things like this, which is your Iron Bear being a sentry, which is awesome. We have Moze grenades, has a chance to score critical hits, dealing damage. This one's weird. I'm not sure if this one's going to be as good as you might think, because it says Moze has a chance of, it depends. Do your salvos have a chance of being, what do you call it, actual weapons? Then maybe this is better than I'm giving it credit for. I don't know. Even still, I probably would just increase the grenade capacity that I have. Also, I do want to get this one. We haven't really had I guess we'll just throw the last couple points in there. Oh, well, yeah, we can. Second win, baby. Boom. That maybe is what I'll use. Honestly, I feel like I might. Yeah, because this is just stupid strong too. This one ability is amazing, which I'm not sure. I'm just waiting for the next DLC, which the game's not even out yet. But they always buff up the skill points when you do that, and you only need I only need 2 more to make it insane to be able to tap in. Because again, Moze is very much that character that gets insanely buffed up at the end of her skill tree. Anyways, this one says, when Moze deals gun damage, just gun damage, there is a chance for a secondary explosion centered on the target. So basically, the damage is 70% of whatever it does. So this whole skill tree is you buffing up grenades as well as splash damage. This gives you the ability to do splash damage with any gun. And a pretty good chance at it too. A 20% chance with an automatic weapon that's firing consistently. That's not the worst, you know? At this point, I'm not sure if I would choose this to be the primary one or choose this. The salvo seems more my speed, but it'd be like a really weird melee bazooka kind of blast situation. This is kind of like a weird Krieg build that I've made where what do you call it? I should read these so you guys know what's happening. But there's this one which you basically have a flurry of rocket pods that just spam out and deal good damage, at least I think. But then you have this one which converts the rockets. It amplifies all damage taken to whatever you hit, so it no longer spams out a bunch of rockets, but instead increases the damage that thing is taking, which should increase this punching nonsense. The bear coming up to people and punching them in the face. I guess it depends how fast you move while in Iron Mech. If you don't move fast, then enemies are just going to run away from you, and that's going to be real shit. So, yeah, I don't know. She is one of the ones that I have not read like a crazy amount on. I've read a lot of Flak. I've read like Flak skill tree back to front. But she has so much going on that's just a lot to manage, you know? Oh, also this one, yeah, when Moze deals splash damage, her action skill cooldown rate is briefly increased. See, this is one of those weird ones where it says you're like, it no longer, like there's some that say, what is it, this one? Yeah, where it says Iron Bear cooldown timer gets 1 second off the cooldown timer. But it's like, well, what does that mean when you have ones like this where it's like 5% of, like, what is that, how does that tangibly get up there? Like, I prefer the whole 1 second shaved off of the base cooldown as convenient and easy to understand. Anyways, yeah, if you want anything, it's this skill tree. Just her weird shield configuration and all that just seem insane. Especially this 50 gun damage. That's a lot. That's a lot, as well as you being able to whip grenades for days. Sounds great. Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a shorter video, but that's also because I haven't like read her skill trees back to front, so I don't have as much of a clear perception on what I'm going to build for. But I will say that I think she is the next person I'm playing. So I'm going to be playing Flak, I think, first, then this person, and then Zane, and then the Siren, because the Siren to me was such a disappointment because I was so excited because the Siren, what do you call it? I thought she was like a Krieg, like a punching version of Krieg, where she has like thousands of fists, just like echoing with each punch. But no, she's like a one-use skill ability kind of character, which is underwhelming and sad for me. But Zane is also godly, like insanely strong, it seems. Like just the fact that he can get 1 kill and it seems like everyone's dead seems awesome. And yeah, I love his drone. His drone and the decoy, I think, would be what I'd have to choose, though, with Zane. Also, Zane has so much abilities, which is great. Anyways, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We may do a video on Zane. I don't know. Probably, because, again, maybe it's like a toss-up between Zane or Helmet Girl at this point. Well, not really. Flak is above. Flak is first playthrough, of course. #1 playthrough. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Forgive me for talking your ear up. Yeah, subscribe button above me as well as 2 videos from the right. Bye.